tragic demise of a teenager that no one has been able to explain from a rational, scientific, or medical perspective. It's hard to believe, but the trace will lead to an occult ritual and a devilish pentagram. You're going to be shocked when you see what actually happened there. Welcome to Psychic Investigations. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants solve tangled criminal cases and find answers to unbelievable mystic phenomena using their supernatural abilities. In this episode, the psychics will try to find what actually happened to this woman's only son. The only sense of his mother's life. He died when he was just 18 years old.
Son, my dear son, my beloved dear son, my baby, rise, show me yourself. You promised you would never leave me.
The boy, who never experienced any problems with his health, suddenly died while he was out with his friends.
We met, and we were sitting, playing the guitar and singing songs. It happened right here, on this spot.
Dennis went to ride the skateboard. Then he rode up to me, leaned on me, and saying he was dying, fell on his back.
An ambulance arrived 30 minutes after the call, but Dennis was already dead by that time. The boy's mother rushed to the scene of the tragedy and was astonished to hear the most ominous words she had ever encountered. Her son was gone.
I kept trying to revive him, pressing on his chest to stimulate his heart, but they grabbed me by the arms and held me tightly, saying it was too late to do something. This is terrible. It's so terrible.
The pathologist who carried out the autopsy shocked Dennis's friends and family, declaring it was a sudden death syndrome.
They couldn't figure out why he died. His blood vessels were clean and his organs were absolutely normal.
He never complained about anything, and he never smoked or drank alcohol.
The birth of her son was a true miracle for Olha. For years, she had been trying to get pregnant, but she kept failing.
When I learned I was pregnant with Dennis, it was a miracle for me.
The miracle came true when Olha was 38. Even though her husband left her when she told him she was pregnant, she was happy as a child because she was finally granted the long-awaited dream of her life.
I wasn't a happy, beloved wife or a desired woman, but I was loved as a mother. I only had one joy in my life, but I was deprived of it.
He dreamed of going to study abroad, and he was a really apt student. He dreamed to write a book and hitchhike around different cities and towns. He had a dream to see the whole world.
Olha is desperate. She doesn't understand how it could have happened to her son. She's asking the psychics to help her.
If they can, I'd really like them to help me. Why would God give him to me when I was 38, to take him away from me 18 years later?
The best psychics in the project, Jana Shulakova and Yaroslava Fedorova, agreed to help Olha understand what had happened to her son. The clairvoyants met to work with the boy's photo.
The same picture again and again. I see a man. He's got a chain tied around his neck, and it seems somebody's holding him by it.
Is it Dennis or what?
No, it's not Dennis. I don't know who this man could be.
Look, I have a woman holding a chain.
Could these be the links of the same chain? Let's see it directly. I suggest that we try to summon the boy's spirit.
The clairvoyant went to find her ritual items. Meanwhile, her colleague recalled a strange incident that happened to her the other day.
Yesterday, at home, I took a photo. I'll find it now. I saw a star emerge on the mirror.
Then, nobody could even imagine that this photo would be key to solving the mystery of Dennis's death.
Where's Jana? She's been away for too long. She left her phone here.
They didn't find Jana Shulakova anywhere in the hotel. The receptionist told us she'd gone outside. But where could she go? The security cameras caught the psychic leave the premise dressed lightly, but it was very cold outside.
Let's go find her. Where could she go?
The crew searched all the neighboring blocks, but it seemed as if the clairvoyant had vanished without a trace.
There she is sitting. Jana was sitting and drawing circles on the sidewalk. She seemed like some kind of spirit had possessed her. How did you end up here?
I was taken like this and literally led here by the hand. And it was like somebody was directing my hand.
Do you think it was the spirit? Dennis's spirit?
I didn't summon him.
The next day, the psychics went to the place where Dennis had lived. There, the boy's mother and aunt were already waiting for them.
Hello.
My name is Larissa.
And I'm Olha, Dennis's mom.
How come that the boy who was all well and physically fit died all of a sudden?
I had the card of the house, a building. The answer is in the building.
We need to go inside.
Of course.
I'd like to see the boys' room.
And I'm going to work with his mom.
A handsome young boy dressed in a navy suit like this one. A pink shirt.
He wore this suit to the graduation ceremony, and we buried him in it.
He's holding some books in his hands.
Our third sister put the books in his casket, Plato's works and some other books.
The fifth book, wait. Solve et coagula.
Is it Latin?
Solve et coagula is a phrase in Latin. I immediately thought I knew those words, but I couldn't recall what they meant.
Not long before his death, he developed an interest in everything connected with the history of Rome and started learning Latin.
At the same time, Jana Shulakova is working with Dennis's mother in the living room.
Give me your hand, will you? Why do I see these very hands holding a burial candle for someone who is still alive? What were you doing? This is a type of deadly hex. I assumed that Olha was probably doing it in order to cause death to someone, and as a punishment for that, she lost her son.
I did it for myself. Jana, I don't want to live. I can't. I'm tired of waking up and going to bed in tears.
Let's have a seat. This is terrible, beyond doubt. He was an incredibly polite boy who loved his mom, and it's an awful tragedy. This is terrible. I can understand you as a mother. This is a nightmare. But the thing you were going to do is the same as suicide.
Zana, I can't.
God, the cards are showing that before the boy died, somebody broke his heart. Someone hurt his feelings badly.
Dennis's friends told us that 3 months before the tragedy, he fell in love with a girl named Lisa. They began dating. The boy was going to tell her of his true feelings, but his life ended.
Not every man would write poems, beautiful themed poems. They were obviously written with all his passion because his love was incredibly strong.
It wasn't a girl, but a man.
A shocking revelation. Did Dennis have feelings for a man?
The boy is begging, wishing for the communication. He's searching for him, but you know they communicate without any sincerity, not looking into each other's eyes. And this man doesn't give him the communication he wants. It's like he's burning the bridges behind, rejecting the boy. Could it be his father?
When he was a little boy, he really wanted to have a father. First, I distanced from these talks, but then, when he grew up and I bought him a computer, we found his father. He sent him a message, "Dad, don't you think it's time we met in person?" But his father deleted his profile from the website.
The resentment remained in his heart until his final days. He remembered it for good. He remembered that for the second time the man behaved like a true bastard.
Nevertheless, what was the reason for the boy's sudden demise? Having found no answers, the clairvoyants decided to summon Dennis's spirit on the site of his death. Dennis's friends went there together with the psychics. Suddenly, something strange happened to Yaroslava Fedorova.
She's unwell.
I'm not unwell. I'm dying.
She sat on the spot on which he died.
Hush, hush.
This is what happened to him. He couldn't breathe, and then the spasms began.
He said he was dying and then fell.
I feel it all myself.
What had happened to Dennis that evening? Despite all odds, the clairvoyants made the decision to summon the boy's spirit anyway.
All right, I'm writing down the boy's name, Dennis. And the spot where he died. Got it.
All of a sudden, Zhana Shulikova started walking and went straight to the road with dense traffic.
Look. The dead. It's a teenage boy. He's bloodied all over. He's dead. He's all broken.
Wait, hold up. Dennis was unharmed.
Yes, he was unharmed.
We summoned Dennis's spirit, but somebody else's spirit appeared. I used the boy's name. How could this have happened?
3 years ago, a car ran over a teenage boy on this beltway. It happened about 500 meters from here, on this road, and his name was also Dennis.
Dennis Bolyubas. It happened in our neighborhood, and a car ran over a teenage boy. He had the same name.
This is insane. Within 3 years, on this very place, just a few hundred meters away from each other, 2 boys, both named Dennis Bolyubas, died. How is this even possible?
The other Dennis's spirit came, but Olha's son, who we tried to summon, didn't show up. I had a feeling that somebody, or something, some kind of force was holding the boy back and wouldn't let him go.
It was the force that could control space and time. The time stopped. Whose time stopped?
Ivan's.
What? On this day?
Yes.
Yes, on this day.
Yes, on this day.
It might be a coincidence, but right on this spot, the moment Dennis died, one of his friend's watch stopped.
The force was craving some retribution. We thought that Dennis could have possibly paid for something his family did.
I paid attention to Larissa's hands. They kept an energetic trace like the hands of somebody who deals with magic. Have you ever tried doing magic? What did you do with your hands?
I bound candles.
Larissa obviously tried doing magic. Somebody taught her to do that. But who could it be? And then I had a vision of an elderly woman dying in her arms, and her death was hard and painful. You held the dead witch in your arms.
What?
The witch. Who died in your arms?
My mother. She died in my arms, but she never did any of those things.
And then Ola and Larissa's younger sister approached us. She remembered what their mother had practiced and what things she'd kept at home.
She had this pendulum. Mom tried to learn extrasensory skills.
We needed to see Dennis's grandmother's home. It was possible we could find the answer to what had happened to Dennis there.
Once we entered the house, my pendulum immediately led me to the attic.
I'd like to see what's in here.
Books.
Here, the Book of Mysteries. Magic? Magic and hex in the 20th century. Dennis' grandmother indeed actively practiced black magic. I decided to consult my cards to see what she'd summoned. And I had the card of a woman, a dead woman who was still present in the house.
This is incredible. At the same time, Zhanna Shulikova also began describing a strange woman.
There's a spirit that's either haunting this place or it's being summoned constantly. It's a woman. She has huge, expressive eyes. She has shoulder-length locks. She's young, looking like she's frozen in time. The pendulum is leading me here. Here she is.
But who is this woman from the photo, and how is she connected with the boy's mysterious death?
Here she is. Get out of here now. Move, move. There was the spirit of a woman who couldn't find peace living in the house. Dennis's grandmother had summoned her. She was very aggressive, so it was quite possible that she took the boy to the other world. I wish you could see her.
It's her photo, Mom's.
Valentina summoned the spirit, and thus she bound it to the house.
We noticed that Valentina's portrait is very much like the one Zhanna Shulikova found in the attic. After the clairvoyant described the other woman, the sisters immediately recognized Dennis's great-grandmother in her.
Her name was Yefrosinia Frosia.
I couldn't wrap my head around what Olha and her sisters told us. It turned out that Valentina, their mother, often summoned the spirit of her deceased mother, Yefrosinia, to help her.
It usually happened in the evening, or rather at night, after the lights went out. She could sometimes call out, "Mom, Mom, come over here, Mom."
So, this means that this spirit, Yefrosinia, remains restless. Valentina summoned her for help in some kind of rituals, but then she died and didn't let her go.
Could Dennis's great-grandmother's spirit, who has been unable to find peace and is still confined to the house, take the boy to the other world?
It was quite the opposite, and she was trying to help. I finally understood who was directing my hand when I was drawing those weird circles. The great-grandmother's spirit was trying to show us a circle that killed Dennis.
We have the picture of the circle. In it, Dennis is on the rooftop of the building.
The psychics performed a ritual to let Dennis's great-grandmother's spirit go. Having done that, they climbed to the rooftop of the building, where the photo of the boy next to the circle was taken. Ola showed the photo to the clairvoyants.
So, it's not just a circle.
It's a pentagram.
I was hinted of it at the very beginning. The star that appeared on the mirror.
But what does this occult drawing have to do with Denise's death?
The card of the devil.
There exists a total of 78 tarot cards, but this one is considered the worst. But there is something similar in the picture, next to which Dennis's photo was taken.
A goat's head. This is Baphomet, a demon. He's believed to be Satan himself. And they draw this goat head inside the circle and draw signs in it. So this means the portal for summoning is open. This is a way of addressing the devil. I see a man. It's an adult man, wearing a hood on his head.
The man is doing magic, and some dark magician is involved in the boy's death.
Dennis and his friends often hung out here on the rooftop playing the guitar. Is it possible that the friends are hiding something and somebody among them carried out a magic ritual here?
Nitro, tell them what happened here.
When we came here, we saw 4 bricks standing like this, and there was a square drawn. And in it, there was the circle drawn, and this star and some symbols. And there was a chair.
On the pentagram,
It means that after the friends climbed to the rooftop, they found the occult drawing left by somebody else. The psychics feel it had been drawn by some kind of dark magician.
he drew a portal. He made the circle with the star and opened the portal. After he finished, he simply left.
However, the picture of Satan inside the pentagram wasn't there initially. It was added later on.
Oh, you added it?
Yes.
Who drew it?
Dennis.
So, the boy climbed to the rooftop at the sunset, sat in the middle of the pentagram, and drew the face of the devil, also known as Baphomet, and thus enforced the ritual's effect. There is a card in the classic tarot set that shows exactly this. It's called the Devil.
Zhana Shulakova and Yaroslava Fedorova work with different tarot sets, so they had to find the pictures from the classic cards online. We were so shocked to see that the Devil's card from the classic tarot set contained the picture that is almost identical to the one from the drawing next to which the photo of Dennis was taken.
Here's the Devil's head. Here it is. And here's the pentagram. The man and the woman holding the chain.
The man with the chain tied around his neck.
And I see the woman holding a chain.
Look, do you see what it reads here?
Solve.
Solve et coagula. This is the phrase from Dennis's room.
The Latin phrase written on Baphomet's arms is deemed the demon's creed. Dennis involuntarily sacrificed himself and became the devil's victim. He paid with his body for the magic ritual someone else had performed.
It's hard to believe it, but as the psychics often say, magic is not a joke. A silly joke on someone else's ritual drawing became the reason for the death of a highly promising boy. If you're shocked by this story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. More exciting episodes are yet to come. Love and revenge from the underworld. The ghost of a mother will come to protect her children from a rival. This story began at the project's editorial office, where Ukrainian clairvoyant Yaroslava Fedorova brought a portrait of a woman she had drawn herself. She thinks the woman is in grave danger.
I saw a dead man reaching out for the woman, who was alive. I'd like to ask you to search for this woman's photo among the letters. We must rescue her. Did she or her family contact us?
Finding somebody by their portrait is almost impossible, but we tried our best. Unfortunately, it brought no results, but how shocked we were when later the woman from the clairvoyant's picture knocked on our door.
I need your psychic's help badly. Some otherworldly force is haunting me.
The woman says she constantly sees some dead man in her dreams. He rises from his coffin and reaches out for her.
He stands above me and says, "Follow me." And then I wake up because I can't breathe.
After Kvitoslava first saw the man in the dream, a billboard got torn off by the wind and fell on her on the street.
Yeah, I was walking along the street when the heavy metal billboard fell from the store.
The several dozen kilogram board cut Kvitoslava's leg, and she hardly avoided staying disabled.
I constantly find myself on the brink between life and death.
Kvitoslava was also in a car crash. She suffered from internal hemorrhage as a result of the impact, and the medics barely saved her. Then she was almost killed by electricity while she was turning on her iron, which was in good condition. The desperate woman asks the psychics to help, as she's afraid her children may stay orphans.
I don't want to die. I can't imagine them living without me.
The journalists of the project called Yaroslava Fedorova promptly, and she was at the office an hour later.
I see a mirror. First, you see a shadow in the mirror.
Yes. What I saw was something transparent, and it looked like a tall man.
And then the mirror, it's smashed. It's like somebody's trying to get out of it.
That mirror almost killed my son.
The big mirror was hanging in their apartment's corridor for years. Kvitoslava's 8-year-old son was putting on his jacket in front of it before going to school. The boy didn't even touch the glass. Then, all of a sudden, it shattered, and razor-sharp fragments began to pelt him.
I'm afraid to lose my children or leave them all alone.
Why do I see you in a wedding dress which is black?
I had a dream about it. I was standing in front of the mirror in the wedding dress, but it wasn't white but black and gray.
Hold on, there's a scar on your ring finger where the wedding ring is supposed to be.
It was burnt all over and was completely red here. I had a dream about the man. He put a ring on my finger and then started dragging me underground. Like, he opened the asphalt and began pulling me.
So, you're now engaged. Dreams of engagement with someone dead mean imminent death. And then the cards showed that the man was bound to the woman through her wedding. Do you have any photos from the wedding?
I do, but back home.
I needed to work with those photos.
The next day, Yaroslava Fedorova and her colleague, Jana Shulakova, went to Jitomir, where Kvitoslava lived.
Some otherworldly entity is haunting her, and I feel it's a man.
I see a woman and she's very outraged.
Is she angry with Kvitoslava?
Yeah. Wait, could it be the woman you saw in your dream? I mean, the woman the cards are showing me.
No, they're different women.
I have the woman, you've got the man, something doesn't match.
Do you mean one of us could be wrong?
I don't know.
The clairvoyants are walking to the door of the building where Kvitoslava lives, but Jana Shulakova suddenly stops.
Jana, who do you see?
I see a young woman who is very similar to Kvitoslava. She says, the kids are alone. And then a train hits her.
Could it be her future?
It might be, but I would rather not tell her this. It will only scare her more. At that moment, Kvitoslava's cat entered the room. She was nervous and kept meowing as if trying to tell us something.
My cat never mews, but now she won't stop.
The cat feels everything. This is female energy, I'm sure.
Look, but I still see it's supposed to be a man.
Oh, God.
I still can't understand why it fell. The ironing board. I got really scared.
There's a dead woman here. I see her near the building. When we went outside, the woman's spirit was gone. But who was she and what children was she talking about? We understood, though, that the spirit was very aggressive and wished Kvitoslava death for some reason.
What's the matter? Hard to breathe?
Yes, I need more air.
Bring water, she felt bad.
Quiet. I hear some words. Find the dungeon, know the truth.
What dungeon?
I was shown the dead man who reaches to you from the underground. He clutches at your wedding dress and drags you down.
At the wedding, we were walking in the park and my dress got torn. I was simply walking, never stepping or tripping on something. Someone simply pulled at it.
It was him. I tell you, it was the dead man. Those were his dead hands. We had to go to the park, where he attacked her first.
Around here.
Everything looked a little different then.
That man, it was like he emerged from the underground.
As if there were a trapdoor there. I don't know. Has anyone ever been walled up here?
Our journalists found out that not long before Kvitoslava's wedding, one of the pathways of this old park collapsed. And remarkably, historians found an ancient catacomb in the gap.
This is the basement. From the basement, the catacomb starts.
It was later discovered that the catacombs extend beneath the entirety of the park. The locals say they sometimes see a ghost here.
A silhouette floating in the air.
Sometimes it's a silhouette and sometimes it's a shadow. But when you look that way, you see nobody.
One of the locals even filmed something paranormal. Watch. It's clear there's a strange silhouette moving here.
The man's spirit most probably emerged from the underground after the pathway collapsed. But why was he trying to drag Kvitoslava to the netherworld? I see a woman, she says. I'll show you where to find him. Come on.
Have you ever been here?
Not. It's my first time here.
The woman's spirit is pointing at this door. She vanished.
Hello. I was surprised. They're celebrities. You see them on TV every day, and now they're standing at your door. It was incredible to see the psychics.
We're helping this woman.
And the dead woman's spirit, it brought us here.
It's so eerie.
The artist has her workshop and studio where she teaches children fine arts in the apartment. It turned out she doesn't know Kvitoslava, but she allowed the clairvoyance to work in her apartment.
Have you seen anyone?
No, I haven't, but I feel something. I often hear someone open the door but never come in, and you feel cold down your spine as if someone's looking at you.
I often see something like a man's dark silhouette.
Look, it's a portrait of the woman who brought me here. But here she's a lot younger, and her hair's different. You didn't paint this face.
I was painting a landscape, but painted the face instead. It felt like it was painting itself, like
someone was controlling your arm?
Yes.
This is his mansion.
If the man we've been looking for...
One painting fell and then the other. We were all shocked.
I can't believe it. Whose mansion is it?
Baron Deshodoir's, built in 1900.
We learned that Baron Deshodoir lived in the late 19th, early 20th centuries and was a famous patron.
He supported artists. As a nobleman, he was wealthy enough to support them.
Did he paint?
Yes, he was an artist.
Over a century ago, there was the Baron's big mansion in the park, and this building was the only to survive to date.
Baron Deshodoir, is it his spirit that's haunting Kvitoslava? Yes, it's him.
The woman's spirit said we needed to find a dungeon.
Does this building have a basement?
There is a big basement here, and there are even underground tunnels extending from it. However, they're bricked up, but they're there.
The Baron's spirit was roaming the catacombs as if he were looking for someone but couldn't find.
I decided to check the basement. It was possible I could make contact with the spirit. Yaroslava, I see him. What's the matter?
We got so scared. Yaroslava fainted. She fell, convulsing, and couldn't breathe.
I simply saw the spirit. It felt like he was walking through me. He can't walk.
This is Baron Deshodoir. His legs were paralyzed, and he used the wheelchair the final years of his life.
What does he want?
He says, I love her. He wants me to go there. To the painting. Anna. The cards told me it was the Baron's spirit that controlled Alina's hand while she was making this painting. He was also an artist. He was painting a portrait of a woman named Anna. Who's Anna?
There was a woman he loved and for whom he had this park built.
He showed you her face at the moment when he saw her for the first time. He owes her a lot. She kept the mansion, but she wasn't his wife. She loves him a lot, but he doesn't believe her. He thinks she's only around him because of his money. The man only realized the woman loved him after he became disabled. Anna didn't leave him, and so he decided to marry her, but he died several days before the wedding.
Anna Valte. She was about 15 years younger than Deshodoir. Tall, slim, she was a very attractive woman. After he ended up disabled physically, she showed him great care. Not long before his death, Deshodoir announced he was going to engage with Anna Ivanivna.
He's searching for his fiancée.
But I don't understand what I have to do with it.
He saw you in the white wedding dress. He thought you were his fiancée.
Oh God, I fear he'll be haunting me always.
These people loved each other so much that even after they both died, their souls spent a century to find each other. But who is the mysterious woman that is killing Kvitoslava?
Let's first finish with the man and Anna. And then we'll deal with that woman. You see, the cards are showing that the fiancé is at peace, but the man is not. Wait! His bones were thrown out of his grave.
It turned out that in 1919, Baron Deshodoir's remains were indeed thrown out of his crypt.
A so-called Civil War hero Bozhenko died, and somebody remembered the class enemy Baron Deshodoir had died recently. So they threw his remains out not far from the crypt and buried Vasil Bozhenko instead.
Anna and the Baron have been searching for each other for many years, but they can't meet because she's in the heaven, and he's stuck in between the worlds.
The clairvoyants and Kvitoslava went to the sport where, according to the historians, the Bolsheviks left Baron Deshodoir's remains. The grave is obviously highly neglected.
The crypt was empty. I didn't see anything in there except garbage. But I had the feeling the Baron's remains were somewhere around.
A bone.
It was behind the brick.
It's a bone. It's really a bone.
We had to carry out a ritual to unite the souls of the lovers who were in different worlds. But first we had to cover the bones with earth and recite a prayer.
For the ritual, the psychics and Kvitoslava leave the graveyard's grounds.
I saw the lovers' souls unite in the flames and rise together to the heaven.
He won't bother you anymore.
Her spirit's not leaving. She's genuinely grateful to you, she says. It's all because of her husband.
My current husband?
Yes.
What could it mean? Kvitoslava is in danger of dying because of her husband. But why? What kind of force is haunting her?
She's young. She's shouting, "He'll never be yours."
My husband had another wife who died. I saw her in a dream. She told me he'd never be mine.
What happened to her?
She was hit by a train.
No, she jumped under the train.
The awful tragedy happened in 2016. The woman was only 26.
Did she jump under the train because of you?
No, I didn't even know her. I met my husband after she died.
The woman's spirit is haunting Kvitoslava because of her husband. We needed to talk to Alexander.
Kvitoslava phoned her husband. He soon arrived to speak to the psychics.
What happened to your first wife that caused her to leap under the train?
I can't answer this question.
The woman jumped under the train 40 kilometers from Zhytomyr. She went there purposefully, and it seems she'd been planning to do it for some time. The couple spent 8 years of happy marriage. The man argues his wife had absolutely no reasons to kill herself.
She had 3 children, and I have 2 children. Please save me. I fear for my life. I'm afraid to leave them all alone.
When Alexander's wife died, their children were little. Their sons had only begun to go to school, and their daughter was only 4.
She's afraid he'll know her secret. It's got something to do with money.
After her death, it turned out she'd had some debts, of which he didn't suspect.
My cards told me that Alexander's wife was lured into a sect where they cheated money out of her. Not only did she take loans from banks, but she also borrowed money from other people.
The people she borrowed from threatened her to kill her children.
But what does Kvitoslava have to do with this?
When I saw her in my vision, she clearly told me the kids are alone.
Did you leave your children?
They live with their grandma, my mother.
Her spirit wants to get rid of Kvitoslava because it thinks she's the reason her husband left their sons and daughter.
When Alexander's children saw Kvitoslava for the first time, they thought their mom returned because she looks like her a lot.
When they saw me for the first time, they shouted, "Mom!"
The children must have a family. They must communicate with you and be with you because you're their father.
Now I understand. We'll love and raise all of our children.
Thank you for helping us settle everything. The children's welfare matters most of all, and we'll take care of them. I know they'll live a good life with me, and I'm going to love them.
Unbelievable. The family has finally come to the seemingly obvious conclusion to take the children to live with them. If only they hadn't needed such eloquent hints from the netherworld. If you're impressed by the story, leave your comments, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The best stories are yet to come.